Okay, so welcome back. We are gonna do some pixel art today for real. Um, so we're gonna be this is gonna be a crossover promo with I don't really know how to say the name. Um, Ian, is it like this guy? Just making a game. Ian is making a game called Spirit Sphere. So one of his this is I guess one of his characters and mascot. Uh, so he already put Pinky into his game. So I'm going to be doing the same. So since this is his mascot, and I don't have anything that looks like a duck or a unicorn, I figured this would be a good character to put in. Of course, this is going to be an alien kitten duck unicorn since it's Space Jammers. But yeah, that's the basic idea behind what we're doing today. So I grabbed this picture here already. Here's the link to the game. Yeah, it's early access. Okay, so you can buy it right now. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's Pong. It's like Pong, but your paddles are actual character. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Um, but it's really cool. It's competitive local multiplayer game. So yeah, I definitely want to do a game like this next for my next game, like a competitive game. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll make soccer. Maybe I'll make a version of this, but like it's soccer. People like soccer. Okay. Anyways, I like the level. Like the level designs kind of influence each game. So anyway, that's the game we're crossing over with. This comes out. I think this is going to be done on the 24th. A couple of days. It's going to come out early access. Release date. I guess that's this one up here. All right. Anyway. Okay. So let's do it. Okay. So first thing I have to do. So my characters are split into two parts. Man, I have a lot of characters that I don't have. I'll need to take a day where I implement all the characters in code. Because I have a couple characters. I have this guy and I have another one that I made on stream. And then I have another enemy, actually. So none of those are actually in the game yet. But I take these blanks. So the hat is going to be obviously this horn. And then I guess I'm going to be making one of each, like a new body with with the little duck tail and maybe the duck feet, if I can somehow get that across. And then the face has a duck shape. Now I already have a green character. I think right now you can be. No, each body type is stuck to a. I might have to make this guy different. Maybe I'll make this guy a different shade of green. That's what I'll do. He'll just be like an alternate. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Just make alternates. So I'm just thinking here. Let's do the body first. Let's just do the body first. So we're gonna need. Let's just use. We're mostly gonna be looking like the pinky sphere, the little. Oh, yeah. See, Oh, it's this guy. Yeah. See, I have a whole nother character here. You know, this should really be over him. I wonder if I can do that differently. Anyway. What does this guy look like? All right. Yeah, so let's get let's start with this guy. And let's put on a face for reference. What else? What kind of face would be the most like? So we're gonna have this duckbill. I guess maybe this guy. Well, let's use this one instead. Copy. Yeah, that's probably gonna look closest like the duckbill. Alright, so we've got that. You know what, why don't we just fix this face while we're at it. So he's actually gonna be more like so this is let's make this a different shade. 19, 20. So then let's do something like a little bit brighter. Whoops, too bright. Just for his eye. This should just be well, actually, let's just pull this out. Just pull that out. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like that. I mean, it's pointing down. So let's Did it from the side. Be more like. First of all, these eyes are not. Oh, I know what it is. It's this fucking brow right here. There we go. Okay. So that doesn't need to be there. And actually, maybe this should be. Yeah, this should probably be there. Okay. Should this guy be here? It's either that or. His eyes are wide apart. I think it would be better to have him in closer to the body. Okay, so. Oh, and I see what I can do. Let's just do that instead. There we go. Okay. I guess this isn't too terrible. Just pick something dark. Yeah, I don't know if I can. That's probably not going to read. You would just have one. Yeah, you would just have one right here, like. Alright, so I'm just sketching this off camera. Alright. Yeah, and see these are let's see. Yeah, I guess it's pretty much like that. Actually, let's make it. I guess I don't really have too much space here. Maybe I could put this. Yeah, I mean that accentuates it more, the angle. And if I could extend that, but I don't know. That's pretty big already. I don't know. I think that's pretty big. That's more manageable. Maybe that right there. Yeah, that's good. All right, so that's a good face. So let's take. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's take this. All right, that's a good animation for the face. Let's save a copy of this. Ah, dang it. Sure. Okay. All right, so let's work on the body here. So we have a good base. So he's got these duck. So I guess, what do you call them? Those duck. So how do you put that like that? They have to get some kind of triangular shape. More like something like that, actually. A wider and webbier. Maybe these have to be. So something like that, maybe. So that's his little ducktail. I guess. Let's see. Do I want to dig into his body here? Yeah, maybe. Just saying like that. His head's gonna. I don't know. I think this tail's gonna have to be a little bit smaller. Stubbier. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so what? All right. I can make his head a little bit bigger, or taller rather. See, the only thing I'm gonna have to. Well, let's see how it looks. And let's say. Llama duck. Llama duck. Llama duck. Yeah, I don't know if his head needs to be. Whoops. Let's see if I can make it smaller. Interesting. Okay. Save this part. See about making this twice as big. Oof. Not that big. Let's do this instead. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So those are his tiny ass little feet. These need to be... Yeah. Unfortunately... Okay. Can't color them like that. Forgot. Yeah. Actually, it looks more like that. Maybe just pull this down. Let's extend that. Yeah, that's about as good as I'll get it. it's either that or that, where it sticks out. Yeah, it'll probably be easier to see when it sticks out like that. Okay, so I think we're at a good spot for the body. Got the face. May as well do the unicorn, which I think it's just white. Right? It's just white. Yeah, I guess it's just, well, we can make it some other. We can make it some other color. I don't think they're colored. Let's start off with this. Just gonna stick out. Let's have this here. It's gonna like end up like right. Meow. Yeah, let's start with that. And we'll come out. Let's put it like right here. And then let's fill it. Let's see what we're working with here. Yeah. More or less. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's the horn. Edentorn. Edentorn. Alright. Let's put a little bit of schnazzle bedazzle here. Schnazzamatazzle. Okay. So what do we want? Oh, this is pure. Let's not have this be. It's like 8. Let's make what did we have? 120, I think. Yeah. So let's do 120. This so saturated. Alright. So that's the horn. That's the face and the body. So this is for the idol. So let's animate the rest of this idol. Okay, so just dips down. Okay. And then I think he just holds it, right? Yeah. Okay, and then he just goes up back to where he was. So let's copy that. Okay, and let's copy that hat. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, that looks better. Alright, so yeah, it's just the face. All the faces have idols, right? Yeah, they're all just idols. They don't have different animations. They all just have the one animation. Same with the hats. Yeah, just idols. It's the bodies that have different animations. So, if I'm happy with how it looks in the idol, it's gonna have to look. I think I prefer this blue tint. Yeah. Hey Digital. I'm using sorry, I was zoned out for a second there. Um, I'm using Asprite, Aseprite. You can find it on Steam or you can find it on Steam. Just find it on Steam. Yeah. I got it way back when it was earlier in production, and he was selling it off of some site called Gumroad. But it's just easier to get updates if you get it from Steam. Yeah, I've been wanting to try some other ones. I've tried Pickle Editor, and a few other pixel art. This one is pretty simple, but like sometimes its simplicity. I wish it had some like other stuff. I'm on an older version, also. Sometimes I get game breaking bug, or not game break, but game no-goes. I get some bugs that are like no-goes for me to use it, so but I mean, I do all my pixel art for this game in Asprite, so nothing I can't handle yet. Forgot what I was gonna. I guess that was what I was gonna do. Oh, I wanted to see about animating this tail here. Some secondary animation. So it goes down. I don't want to animate it going up. I think it should come down flat here. Or pretty flat anyways. Like that, yeah, like this. Yeah. So he kind of slams his little tail down as he, yeah, okay. How long have I been doing pixel art for? Since I did my first mobile game, which was like sometime in like middle of 2014 maybe. So I don't know, at least 2 years. Before before that I was a 3D artist. Like a 3D prop artist, hard surface modeling and stuff like that. So I didn't know anything. I figured, you know, pixel art, it's easy. It's not really that easy. It's not that easy to do good pixel art. And my pixel art's not that good, so I don't think I'll ever be as like good as the pros. But it takes a lot, the turnaround time when creating assets for pixel. I mean, depending on how big it is and complex it is way faster than having to do a 3D character all by yourself. Like, yeah, it's pretty sweet if you have a texture artist and an unwrap artist, a skinner, a rigger. But if you have to do all that shit yourself, turnaround time on an entire character is pretty nuts. Which is like, I just stopped doing it for my portfolio work because it was just taking up too much time. And so I just figured, why don't I just start making games instead? And put that, kind of use that as my in. Because honestly, that's all I really wanted to do was make games. Being relegated to 3D art, you know. Like I said, they want you to be like someone who only unwraps models, or someone who only textures models, or someone who only does, I don't know, and I never liked doing just one of those things. So yeah, how are things going with your pixel art so far? I started, I don't know, I just started taking inspiration from other pixel art, like good pixel art. I just look at like good pixel art and just try and like emulate its goodness, you know? Okay, so I think this idle's pretty much done. I have to make a run for this. I wonder if his head is too flat. I don't know, it's fine, I guess. Okay, so let's grab a the running version. Where is it? That's idle. Def, roll, run. What the fuck? How is this only... Wait a minute. How is this 3 frames? What the fuck? 1, 2... Oh. Stupid me. Let's save this. Yeah, that's what I started doing, was working on a small game after work. 32 pixel sprites. Yeah, that's still too big for me. I stick with the 16 and the 8. I think I started with 8x8 pixels, and only after like 2 years I started feeling a little bit more comfortable with 16x16. But yeah, you might be way ahead of me to begin with, because I didn't do too much 2D art. What do I recommend for animation? Do I recommend 32 pixel sprites for animation? Is that what you're asking? I mean, if you're asking in terms of size, for 16, I mean, the more pixels you have, it makes it easier. It makes it easier to express your animation, if that makes sense. But yeah, like if you're working with an 8x8 pixel, it's tough to animate because it's like, Well, what is this? What am I working on right now? Alright, so this is a 24 by 24, but like this guy, this space that I'm working with right here, yeah, it's like 16 by 16 basically. And I'm still having a tough time because this guy has to have webbed toes. It's hard to get the details in without getting any details in, you know? But you got to pick what makes, you know, so what makes a good character for these low-res games are, you know, unique stuff like a horn, this guy's duck bill. See, I wasn't able to get his little webbed feet in here because it's just I only have, this is all I got to work with, this many pixels, you know? And if his feet are only like 3 pixels by 2 pixels, I can't really get much detail in there. But if this was a bigger, you know, if this was a 32 by 32, I'd have more space to show all that detail and animate all that detail. You know, I'm only doing 4 frames of animation because honestly, any more doesn't make sense for how many pixels I've got on the screen here. There's only so much I can move, you know. Most of the stuff I'm moving by 1 or 2 pixels in either direction. But yeah, it just depends. It doesn't depend on your look. I mean, it just depends on what your art direction is. Do you want to, you know, do you have the overhead to pay people to make 32 by 32 pixel art sprites and animations? You know, because, you know, the bigger the sprite, the longer it's going to take to actually do the work. You know, I said it's easier to animate, but that doesn't mean it takes any shorter amount of time. It takes longer. It's easier to animate, longer to animate, though. Whereas this is harder, I would say, what I'm doing here, but it doesn't take quite as long. And that's the trade-off I prefer is right now. I'm going to be doing a bunch of these characters by myself. That's what I have to do to get the work done. Okay, so I got this run animation in, so he's up above. Okay, so let's copy this. I'm gonna make, actually let's just make another copy of this. Okay, so we're gonna move this guy. Let's get rid of the hat. Let's keep the face. Okay, so I think I can just keep, let's just copy this. Be pretty much the same. Guess I'll just move that there. And push this in. Yeah. Okay. I think we need another guy right there. Bow, bow, bow. And I think this guy is gonna have his foot up. Let's grab this guy. think we want that. Yeah, let's just do that. What editor do I use to make the games? I use GameMaker. GameMaker Studio. I used to use Unreal 3 and Unreal 4 from my old jobs. But when Unreal 4 came out, it didn't have 2D support, and I never used Unity, and I don't really intend to use Unity. I just don't feel like learning another language right now. But I don't know. If I ever want to work on another indie team that doesn't work on GameMaker, I'd have to learn Unity at some point. Hey Lord, how you doing, man? Lord Ep.32? Is that how you say it? What's going on here? So this guy's still stepped up. Oh, you know what? This guy's supposed to be higher up. Darn. You wish there was more YouTube tutorials for GameMaker? Oh my god. There's so many. There's so many good... You know about You Heartbeast, right? Let me look at my... Okay. It's probably down... Fuck, I can't find them in this list. Yeah, Heartbeast. There's some other ones I use. That's just the one that comes to mind. And the community manager for Yo-Yo Games, Sean Spalding. Like I think that's how he got the job. First of all, it was like because he was doing a lot of GameMaker tutorials. I mean, yeah. You're not using GameMaker anymore, so I was gonna say if you were learning GameMaker, I'd say start learning GameMaker 2 because it just came out, and that's what they're gonna be moving forward with. But honestly, I never really I'm not a big tutorials guy when it comes to learning. Like if I need to learn something or get an idea for some specific thing, I'll look at a tutorial, but I mean most of my learning is just done through like trying to use the engine. How hard is GameMaker for someone who's not a programmer? I mean, I'm not a programmer, and I've been using GameMaker, so that's it. It's easier than the other. I mean, it's easier than Unreal. It's easier than to get something up and running quickly compared to Unity and Unreal. I mean, I don't use the drag and drop stuff. I use the drag and drop for the beginning game that they have you make for the tutorial. It takes like 5 minutes. And then after that I was like, okay, there's only so much you can do with the drag and drop. Microsoft has GameMaker courses for GameMaker. Microsoft Virtual Academy. Microsoft. Whoops. Virtual Academy. The language for GameMaker is GML, is GameMaker language. It has its own language. GameMaker. What does it have? Game development series, GameMaker. Oh, it does have one. Start to finish though, huh? Let's see. GameMaker store. Do you actually make a game in this? This goes through the basics. It would be nice if it showed you how to like publish a game and all that stuff, like the whole shebang. Oh yeah, Inkscape. I've been meaning to use Inkscape. I tried Game Salad and Construct and this other one that had like snapping together, I don't know, code pieces or something. It's like a free editor. And I just ended up with GameMaker because one, I could buy a license for it outright. It wasn't a subscription model. And two, there's a ton of resources for GameMaker. And three, I was able to make a game in 5 minutes. Like, whereas these other engines, it took me way longer. Like, without having any prior knowledge, it was taking me way longer than 5 minutes just to make a game. And so that was it for me. That was when I knew I should be using GameMaker, because I need to get stuff done quick, and that's what it allows me to do. Oh, thanks, Asterix. I don't know if I'll be moving forward with other games in the future using GameMaker, but I'll definitely be using GameMaker at the very least to prototype stuff. I think I'll only prototype games in GameMaker, and then maybe if it needs to be done in 3D, I'll use Unreal probably. But I still need to take a look at GameMaker Studio. From what I hear, it's still pretty beta. So for a release environment, I'm not looking to use it anytime soon. Yeah, the tile editor. Hopefully everything's just more faster. There's a few things still missing that I wish was in there. That like Unreal and Unity have. It's just, I think Yo-Yo's still, which is good. Like the engine's geared more towards like beginners and hobbyists and people like me who aren't hardcore programmers, who aren't self-described programmers. They're just designers who want to just make a friggin' game. So they're still doing that. But I'm glad it wasn't. I heard rumors that it was going to be a subscription model for Game Maker 2, and that would have been. Yeah, it is fast. Yeah, I mean, I like the visuals. So like visual. I just had the visual layout of the windows. The way they connect to each other is way nicer, because when you open up all these windows in Game Maker 1, it's just nuts. It gets nuts pretty quickly. Alright, so that's the run. Let's copy this guy. Ah, shit. He is supposed to be down. Just move him up. Yeah, pretty cumbersome. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it was just I picked an engine that made me make stuff really fast. I don't know what your requirements are, if you want to do it for like commercial or just hobbyists. Hobbyist reasons, but that's why I wanted. What's going on here? Okay, so I think it should be like that. What do you mean you get torn between GameMaker and Visual Studio, or because of Visual Studio? Between GameMaker and Unity? Oh, okay. What's, like, do people still use C++? Like, is that, like, I keep hearing Java or C# whenever I hear about programming for game development. But, like, all, you know, pretty much everything out there, it looks like uses C++. So I don't know who, if like only people who work on engines, well, yeah, UE4 uses C++, but like if you're like a game designer who needs to like script, do a lot of scripting or that kind of stuff, like is C++ really do a lot of people use C++, or just the people who like build the engines use C++? C sharp, yeah. Always seems like add-ons or like anything you script or I don't know. Use C sharp and then C++ is what everything's built on. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Darn. .NET. I have no idea what that is. I think it has to do with online functionality for Windows. I don't know. Is UWP, what does UWP stand for? Universal Windows Product? Okay, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, Universal Windows Platform. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna have to do for. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm gonna do it for this game. Cause, well, if I'm gonna release for Xbox, I may as well release for UWP as well. Just cleaning this up. Thanks. Yeah, that still looks messed up. Let's make this. Yeah, well, I have a color palette for this game. It's not like explicitly set out anywhere. It's just it's just a set of colors that I just told myself this is green, this is a lighter shade of green, and I just keep using the same colors. Some are stored in code, others are like for the UI. Those are all stored in like constants. But when I make new art assets, I'll color pick from previous colors just to keep it consistent. So it helps keep things consistent. I don't think that's how this one's. No, I didn't establish any colors because it was a prototype and I didn't know what it was gonna be. But let's see. Eventually, eventually I just settled into a set number of colors. Like I started experimenting with some new deviations from the colors I was using for some characters, and then when I started making new characters, I just like those colors better, and then just decided to change all the other colors in other okay, so I think this just needs to be further out. If this doesn't go. Yeah, this side just feels awkward. Maybe this needs to be pulled out. Like, you know you're going to need a red for something, so you make a red color, and you just keep using that same color. You might change the shade of that, or the hue of that red color later on, but you keep using the same colors. Like, when I need a red anywhere else in the game, if it doesn't need to be darker or lighter, I'll use the same red. If I need a lighter version of that red, I'll make a lighter version of that red, but I'll always use that lighter version of a red whenever else in the game I need a lighter version of that red. And like with the color, with the characters, as you can see, the hats and the faces are colored, but their bodies are black and white because I color blend with a color I have stored in code, because it's just easier to do it that way. So if I wanted to change the color of a character in the future, it would just be as easy as me changing a line of code. And plus it lets the players create their own characters, so it was a win-win in that situation, I felt. Okay, so just looking at his tail and seeing how it's I don't think I like this frame. Looks better for his tail. Yeah, he is kind of a cute ducky, isn't he? It's not too bad. Okay, so it comes down. So I think what I want to do is This is a playable character. This is from a... This is from another game that I was helping out, Spirit Sphere. Because this guy's gonna launch Spirit Sphere on Steam in a couple of days, so he wanted to cross promote with some other game devs. So he made my Pinky character in his game as one of these little jumping. Are you guys seeing this good? Okay, good. These little jumping. What do you call these? People who watch sporting events. I don't know. These characters in the bleachers, the cheerers, the crowd. These crowd characters. So I'm making one of his characters in my game, just to cross promote. Plus, I need another character fans. Plus, I want to create some more. This might be an unlockable character or something I might give to people who give more extra money, because I'm selling the base game, but I'm also selling extra perks. Like if you buy the game and then add a couple more dollars on top of that, you'll get extra stuff. So this could be like something I could give for extra, like unlock a character that you wouldn't otherwise be able to unlock. So I think I like the leg animation for this better. I guess this guy's leg does have to be bigger. just don't like how that leg looks. Maybe he should... Ducks kind of waddle. They don't so much walk as they waddle. So maybe this guy should... It's kind of waddle. Some ducks can fly. Oh yeah, of course they can fly. Jokes! Yeah, see these are on 2 different height levels, so... Let's see. I guess it doesn't matter. Bodies are still the same. It's just their legs. I don't want to draw their legs so large. I mean, I think this looks better. I'm gonna pull this tail out. Okay, so that's... I might make it look better. Okay, so... what else left to do is... you know, maybe I should just move this whole... okay. Okay. Alright, that works better. I think that's what the problem was. Okay. I'm gonna flatten this tail. Maybe not. I think this can be pushed in. And this one for the same. Yeah. So how does this look with the idle? The idles is pushed out. Yeah, it just looks better when it's like this. Alright. That's just how it works, I guess. up. Like that there, but maybe here. Yeah, all right. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so that's the run with the face and the horn. So, I think that's pretty much. I mean, that's it for the That's it for the sprite part. I mean, it's just I'm just gonna break these out into individual individual sprites. But yeah, I have a body animation. I have a idle animation, and then you just add just one animation for the face and hat, and you just swap out the body sprites for whatever you want, depending on how the character is moving. So once I break these out into individual sprites, you know, like I've done for all of these, like these are all the body sprites, and these are all the face sprites. So one animation, 4 animations, or 4 frames per face, and 4 frames per hat, just because it has to like move up and down with the body. Here's a Mega Man. Here's a Mega Man hat. So you can add some secondary animation to it, but generally it has to at least bob up and down. And then in code, depending on how tall the character is, I like move the hat up and down on the character depending on how tall their head is. So yeah, I haven't eaten yet, so I think I'll wrap up breaking out these sprites off stream, and either like I said, maybe next stream I'll do I'll implement, like I'll actually code up and bring in all the new characters as well as this character into the game and rig them up, and they need to have, like, this guy needs to have his own special power, which I think might be like a prize, or not a prize, but like a reward. So I might have someone on stream do that with me, because I have all these Kickstarter rewards I need to fulfill, so that's part of it. But yeah, I guess next stream I'll do some coding and wire. You'll see how I wire up these characters. And I guess while I do that, there's some other things I need to do is with the characters anyways, when it pertains to their skills. So I'll do that after I get the new sprites all added in. Yeah, I'll either do that Friday or maybe later tonight. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break here, eat some dinner, and I'll let you guys know if I get back on. or subscribe, and that way you'll get notified automatically. So thanks for joining me. That ended way quicker than I thought. I thought I would have needed the 4 hours, but I guess it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, that's Ian Horn. I think that's this guy's name. So, yeah, that's what he looks like. That's him. If I had in the game, like his skin, the sprite will be colored. The body would be colored, so he'll be colored like some kind of green tint or something in the game. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, because the body is black and white, I can't color feet. Like his feet would be yellow or something. But I haven't currently. I don't have a way of dealing with that. So all their feet are like the same color as their bodies. So whatever. And they don't have hands. I mean, they do, but you can't see them. They're so tiny, so they're not there. I don't animate hands, just the feet. So that's how that works. Yeah, join me next time to see these characters get put into the game, and then you'll actually get to see them like run around and shoot and use their special skills and all that stuff. So thanks for joining me, guys. You have a good night, and I'll see you later.